Show. Open phones this hour at 989-752-6111. Joining me in studio, the one and only Jonathan Dent.
Hello, hello.
Good morning to
Happy
you.
birthday.
Well, that puts an end to this show. Thank you. So what's on your mind today? What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I just, the whole AI data center moratoriums that have been going on around the state had me thinking about, like, okay, what's the next industry in Michigan? And that got me thinking about the population change in Michigan. This has been a conversation for a decade now, but Michigan's getting smaller, and it's projected to get smaller in terms of population, especially our region here. And it's just kind of, okay, why is it happening, and what do we do about it?
Well, and it's interesting you mentioned our region here, because I've said I think our region can lead the state out of it.
I think it could.
And the reason I say that is Corning, 1,500 jobs. And like Semiconductor, still looking for a couple of hundred.
Mm-hmm.
SK Siltron in Bay City looking for a couple of hundred. Other companies looking. I think we're primed to lead the way.
There are the opportunities there, absolutely. But I'm looking at the hesitancy around the AI data centers, and I understand why, and it should be approached cautiously. But tech, that's one of the biggest growing job markets there is. Now, do these things bring in hundreds of jobs? No. But
we're going to have to get over the NIMBY, the not in my backyard type situation. This is, putting a data center in your community is not the same thing as putting a hazardous waste plant or any other number of things you can think of that would probably be detrimental to your home value and what have you. I mean, these basically are just big buildings. Inside are tons and tons of servers and what have you, but I think people are also worried because there's been so much in the news about it. People are worried about their electric bills and what it might mean in the future.
And really, I think that's what the pause is right now. And once there becomes kind of a standard cookie cutter for how these agreements are reached, and that's where we're getting the moratoriums is, okay, let's put a pause on this until we figure out what terms we want these to come in on. Once that kind of standardized cookie cutter approach is worked out, I think we'll see a lot of that kind of thing possibly popping up, depending on how restrictive those guidelines are.
Yeah. I got one other topic that I just chuckled at because of the headline. This was in the Free Press this morning. Russia warns of response to any U.S. weapons deployment in Greenland. They will respond if we try and build the Golden Dome.
Oh.
Hello, Russia. We already have a base.
Yeah, we're already there.
We're already there. What are you talking about?
We've been there for decades.
You're telling us we can't defend ourselves? Give me a break. All right, let's go to the phones here. And Mike is in Thomas Township. Mike, good morning.
Good morning. Happy birthday, my friend.
Thank you.
Another month I'll be 86, so I'm a three
you
ahead
got
of
me.
Yeah, but that's not a good place to go. But you can start feeling it after a while. I don't know how you're doing physically, but
my mind tells me I'm 50. My body tells me no, dummy, you're 83.
Yeah, that's about the same thing. But anyway, well, I'm not going to complain about the politics or anything today. I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
All right, well,
Enjoy
thank you.
it.
Appreciate it.
And, we're going to go over to K-Walls, I think, next Monday. I have a friend that has a birthday around the same time as me, so we go over and celebrate. So,
good deal. All right.
Take care, my friend.
Have fun.
Goodbye.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Thank you. It's just another day. It's another number.
Yeah.
Click it off.
Yeah.
I can remember I said this to somebody earlier. I can remember when I was my 20s, and thinking, wow, man, boy, if I lived to 50, that'll be phenomenal. Because that would have been, or actually, I didn't even use my age as a target. I said, boy, if I can live it to the new millennium, 2000, 2001, wow,
Yeah.
And here I still am. Go figure.
I mean, I think birthdays, as you get older, They're more for the people around you to celebrate having you around than they are for you to celebrate being around.
Yeah, that may be.
Yeah.
That may be. To me, it's just, it's just another day. I don't mean to discount the fact that I've survived this long and enjoy life and all of that. But there's things that are more important to me than just another day,
Yeah, I get that.
So, yeah, well, but I thank everybody who's wished me well, and I've heard from a lot of people this morning. So, on we go.
Yes, indeed.
So, I want to talk for a minute about automobiles and some of the best cars in the world that we can't buy.
Yeah.
Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
For all we pan China, and for all we realize the technology they've stolen and converted to their own and all of that, they have been able to produce some phenomenal automobiles. The Chinese BYD is the company, BYD cars. They are not available in the United States, but for whatever reason, whether it's whatever we've done to them or just because, Canada will be opening up their borders to the BYD cars. The BYD cars outsell Tesla and are, by all accounts, superb products. And, you have to recognize your competition, if you will.
Yep.
And they are superb products, so it doesn't do any good to pan them. What you need to do is figure out how to build cars that are equally as good without going to them and having them build them for you.
Well, here's how you do it. You lift a lot of the restrictions that are on the U.S. auto industry.
Yep, good starts.
They don't have those because
China
it's the government.
Yeah, literally. That's true. That's a very good point. And I think that and I'm sure the U.S. auto industry has already done this. You get a hold of some of those cars and you reverse engineer them and figure them out, and I'm sure they do that with all their competition.
Yeah.
And but it's going to be interesting to see down the road if BYD comes to the United States at any point in time.
Well, you've got to think, if they're taking them apart and reverse engineering them, the next step is to make them profitable to produce a lot of.
Yeah. And the other part of it I chuckle at, how many of these companies take those cars apart, reverse engineer them, only discover their own technology inside.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. Wait a minute here. We did this.
Yeah.
That always amused me that, some engineers taking it apart and saying, I recognize that. I designed it.
It's even got the serial number still on it.
Yeah. We'll take a break. Lines open again. Whatever you want to talk about, stick around with us. We'll have open phones right through about 11:25 this morning.
It's natural to have questions.
Continues for the Saginaw Spirit this Friday night when they meet the Erie Otters at 7:05. Plus, it's Covenant Cancer Care Night and the Kids Takeover. Get your tickets at SaginawSpirit.com.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. By the way, when I listen with my ears. That's how I listen.
Usually, yeah.
All right, let's go back to our phones. Ron is in Saginaw. Ron, good morning.
Good morning, Art, and happy birthday.
Thank you.
I was wondering if you could, maybe or find out to what venue we're going to be able to watch the Tigers this year.
Going to be on the MLB Network, and the question is, are they going to do all the games? I don't know yet. What happened was the Tigers and 8 other teams pulled away from FanDuel Sports, couldn't come to terms with them. And MLB Network offered to pick up the slack. So they are signing with MLB Network, which is on a cable channel, obviously, but so was FanDuel Sports. And that's where they will be, at least for this coming season. Any thoughts on that?
For me,
yeah, Jonathan. Yeah, but hang on a second, Jonathan. Any thoughts on that?
I don't know. Detroit sports have been kind of finicky with their deals with who they'll broadcast with for a long time. Like, I know there are the majority of NHL teams are signed on with, what is it? Does Disney own Hulu now? I don't know. ESPN probably. That they'll broadcast their games there, whereas the Red Wings are super limited. I don't know why that is, but I just know that it is. That Detroit sports are kind of picky about that.
Well, it will be the MLB Network, so that's coming up this season. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Ron. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye.
Does the MLB Network have streaming?
I don't know. I just know they're on the cable, but I don't know if they stream or not. Mark is with us. Mark, good morning.
Good morning in snowy Houghton Lake today. How are you?
Oh, lovely. Is it snowing up there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
The 790 always airs that Tiger baseball game, and I don't think I've watched one on TV in years since.
All right.
790 on there, so you always have that option.
Oh, yeah, that's absolutely true.
And I think radio lends itself to baseball way better than TV.
I do, too.
I'll listen to a baseball game before I watch it.
Oh, yeah, the commentators, just like for football, I'll listen to the radio and watch it on TV, and they're always a play behind. But just the colorful commentary that you get from the broadcasters is worth listening to.
It is,
on TV.
And it's more related to the game. By that I mean the television coverage has gotten to be in some ways a partial comedy show. They do a lot back and forth in the booth that has nothing to do with the game.
Because you're sitting there watching it with your eyes.
You're watching it with your eyes.
On the radio, they got to describe to you what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Hey, out in Minnesota, elected officials with the ICE immigration going on there, in the last couple months, they have told individuals to go to the streets and film and report back on what your findings are. And that has caused a lot of people to get injured and so forth. To bring it closer to home, our top AG, Dana Nessel, is asking individuals, she had created an app or something like that, to report any ICE activity in the state of Michigan. That didn't work out good for Minnesota. Is that something that you guys see as fruitful for Michigan to have ICE agents reported for their activity?
I would not, but the difference is we don't have the ICE presence that they have in Minnesota right now. Now,
correct.
Just the other day, Trump said something about Detroit. The reality is, I don't think Detroit is Minneapolis in its organization and how much problem it has with it. I'm sure ICE is on the streets in Detroit in limited numbers doing their thing, but I would not be for that. But to be honest with you, I would not be for Trump nationalizing the National Guard in Michigan and sending them into the streets, nor would I be, glad to see 2,000 ICE agents on the streets. I don't think it's necessary.
And there are already these networks of people who are doing that in their own communities, tracking ICE movements, any police activations that could be related to ICE, and relaying them. I think it's different when elected officials step in and say, yes, do that. Say these things to each other, and I don't know, could that be construed as obstruction at a certain level?
I don't think obstruction because, you have the absolute right in a public setting to record what's there.
And communicate it.
But when the problem is it can lead to further the things.
Yep.
And then a protest breaks down into a riot. They're not the same. A riot is a riot, and a protest is a protest.
Or if people hear elected officials saying, go out and film, and they go out and film, and that puts them in a position that develops into something dangerous.
Well, it's one thing to film standing on a sidewalk and shooting a picture of what's happening. It's another thing to walk up in front of an agent and put your lens right in his face.
Yep.
And that puts you in jeopardy then. So
I think the big difference in Michigan is going to be is that law enforcement will work with ICE as opposed to Minnesota police department was not willing to.
Some will, some won't. Some will, some won't. And I'll give you a perfect example of that. ICE came into Michigan a year ago, maybe a little less.
6 months.
6 months to a year ago, and asked departments to sign on with ICE so that their officers could be used in ICE investigations. Very, very, very few departments did it, and the main reason they didn't do it is they're already strapped for officers.
Mm-hmm.
They're already running short-handed in many cases. They could not see where they could take other officers and turn them over to ICE and lose further protection for their local residents. So I don't think you're going to see. You may not see the big sanctuary city pronouncements that you've seen elsewhere, but the cooperation will be somewhat stymied by the fact that they just don't have the bodies.
Okay. All righty then. Well, we'll have to see how this all unfolds.
You bet. Thanks for calling, Mark.
All right.
Appreciate
well, enjoy your birthday. Use a number candles on your cake for safety today.
I'll probably not even have a cake. Thank you.
Yeah, take care.
Right, bye-bye. I think what happened in Minneapolis, I don't think is indicative of the rest of the country.
No, and I think the role of local law enforcement in working with federal authorities in that way is, and it's leading to a lot of the problems, is local law enforcement in Minneapolis are completely hands-off. ICE, you're on your own. If you want to do operations and things, what I think might happen and I doubt anything to that scale would happen in Michigan, but if it did, I think we would see a little bit more cooperation in there's some local units just attached for this call. Maybe they're not completely under the jurisdiction of ICE in that way, but
it's possible.
They're there to keep the peace a little bit more.
The other thing, too, and to me the big thing, if you want to avoid what happened in Minneapolis, all these states and local governmental entities have to do is when ICE asks for a retainer for a known violator that you have in jail because he already committed the crime, give them to him.
Yeah.
What's it off your back if somebody you've arrested for having criminal activity to start with continues to face the music in a federal setting? Why are you protecting that person? He's threatened your population to start with.
This person has committed a crime in your community, and they're also suspected of or accused of a crime in a federal sense. Why would you let them out? Why would you keep them there?
Listen, once they're out of yours, you don't have to pay for them anymore. I just have always been. I don't know. I just can't put my mind around how these geopolitical entities can do that. And I'm obviously not a fan of sanctuary cities for that very reason, because they're not really protecting their citizens.
No.
I mean, if you take that criminal that you just arrested and you pump him out onto the street, how have you protected your citizens? You've put him back out on the street to do what he did before.
Yep.
So, anyhow, we'll take a break. Lines open 989-752-6111.
Gotta go.
Let's get back to our phones. Jim is in Midland. Jim, good morning.
Good morning, Bart. Happy birthday.
Thanks, Art. You do it. I knew it. Go ahead.
I just tuned in. It's your birthday. I just tuned in, so I didn't want to. It is your birthday.
Yep, it is.
Oh, great. Okay. Two points I want to make, and they're both kind of similar. It's what we're fed in the news or not fed in the news, and they're both very telling. The first one I'm going to touch on is the Savannah Guthrie's mother is missing, or grandmother, or somebody.
Mother.
Why is that news? Why are we paying?
Because she's a prominent media figure for no other reason.
Okay, don't care. 2,000 kids went missing yesterday in this country. Nothing. Yeah. There's nothing about it. Savannah Guthrie's mother is missing. Why is that the leading story on CBS?
Well, I asked that yesterday. I don't know.
I don't know either. And that's what my other point is. Like 2,000 kids went missing yesterday. Children. There's nothing. There's nothing on that. We don't know anything about that. So, and it kind of ties in with my second point. It's like it's what you're fed and what you're not fed, and it leads into this kind of sheepish society that we've turned into. And if you go listen to some of the other, I'm taking Fox News for example. If you scroll through their page and look through there's one story that is not on there. They're not even touching it. Won't go near this story. What do you think that story is?
I have no idea.
Epstein. They won't touch it. And that to me is telling of something that's deeper than. Something's going on there. When somebody doesn't even touch it, there's something there.
I'm going to challenge that, and I'll tell you why. I'm just going to do it right now. I'm going to go to my Fox News app. I have CNN and Fox News on my phone.
Good, which is good.
Let's see, because I know there have been stories on here.
So there was a Peter Attia story buried deep on there yesterday. Buried pretty deep. That's about it.
The thing about this Epstein file dump is it's not the files that we've been waiting for. And that's the thing, is they'll keep releasing things. And it's got allegations and things that were like, it's got like half the story to it. So like there are drafted emails, there's no definitive communication. So
so that's kind of the rub, the run. It's like we're being released kind of some of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it'll muddy the waters with it. And there's a lot of stuff. And it just goes to the bigger picture. What I'm getting at is I think this is a deep state issue. The molestation is a big nasty piece of it, but it's a deep state issue. The CIA is involved, therefore the State Department's involved, Mossad is involved in this. There is something very deep and nefarious going on here. And with Trump and the deep state, Trump is complicit in this. He's part of the deep state. I'm convinced of it. He's a player in the deep state.
So any Democrats in the deep state?
Absolutely, they're both.
Okay, so they're both. So that's my point.
Well, that's another one of my points too. Is like you're given a choice. The American people, the sheep of America, are given a choice. You can pick A or B. It doesn't really matter.
No, you can pick
Who's
neither.
Controlling things. You don't really. I mean, Trump's going to drain the swamp. Please, I'm putting $500 billion more into the Defense Department. The biggest swamp there is.
Yeah, I can see that. My
I'm
point.
Promise you, but do none of them.
My point with this file dump is, from a news perspective, I'm kind of glad that a lot of these networks aren't taking it and running with it, because it's got half the story to it. And that is something that the government has released intentionally, just half the story, just these little pieces so that they can say, look, we've released something. But from a news perspective, there's not a whole lot concrete to report on. And I have a feeling once there is any kernel of that, it'll get run with.
Well, I don't know. And I listened to a podcast just so Joe Rogan had a guy named Mike Benz on, and they dove deep into this. And I couldn't. The problem is that it's very complicated.
Yeah.
It's not just this guy had this island and he was molesting children, and there were a lot of influential people going there. It's really deep and really complicated. And that is probably one of the pieces with the news. But my other piece is Trump he's mentioned 5,600 times in these documents. You know, a lot of them, there's implications. There's nothing true there. But he either knew what was going on, knows what's going on.
So why are you? Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Jim. Why are you singling out Trump?
Well, he's the president of the United States. He's the leader of this country.
Yeah.
He said there's nothing there. Democratic hoax. And his pawns there, Kash Patel, said the same thing.
But the question is,
there is no file.
Here is my question. With all these files released, all these people named, does it become guilt by association, or is it true guilt in a criminal way?
Well, it's just what Jonathan just said. There's so much there. You're right. You got to through it.
Which is why, in many ways, it's very difficult for the media to cover it, because it is so deep, because it is so complicated and complex. It's tough just to put down a headline that means something.
It is, but when you get into child molestation, I think being anywhere in proximity of it, it's nuclear. It's toxic. You don't want to be mentioned anywhere around it.
Guilt by association, again.
It is to some extent, but when Peter Attia says, hey, you got a new shipment in, I think we know what I don't know if he's talking a new shipment of aspirin or is he talking a new shipment of children. My point being is, why did Donald Trump say it's a complete Democratic conspiracy theory against it's a hoax? It's not.
Well, Donald Trump says a lot of things.
Well, and I think you're going to see that over this next year. He's just going to prove how big of a clown it really is. All right.
All right, good enough, Jim. Got to take a break, but appreciate it. Thank you. We'll be back. Tom and Carol, hang on. You'll be next.
Hi, Stan the Goldman.
Let's see if we can run these calls. We've got three of them stacked up here. Tom is in Bay City. Tom, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Art.
Morning.
Hey, I wasn't going to talk about Epstein, but just going to piggyback off the last caller. Politically and logically speaking, can't we all conclude that if they had the goods on Trump with the Biden administration, politically,
yeah, absolutely.
And that's just common sense. But the reason I called, I don't know if you guys covered it. Have you saw the new platform the Attorney General of Michigan's putting out there to keep an eye on ICE?
Yeah, she's asking for public help.
Yeah, video.
I haven't seen that.
Well, you should really look into it.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about it. I've only heard about it superficially, but yeah, I know it's out there.
Well, basically bringing Minnesota to Michigan more or less, and we're going to create unrest. It's an election season. I think she's running for governor. Since when does
she's not running? She's not running for governor. Benson is.
Okay, well that's good. My mistake. But since when does the state and local officials just blatantly ignore federal law? And not only that, tell people to do the same.
I don't know. It seems they've been emboldened to do that in recent years.
I think it's. Sorry, sir. They have this playbook, I think, from 2020 that worked, and I'm honestly thinking that's the playbook they're trying again. They're defund the police, defund ICE, protest. It seems like it worked for them then.
Let's separate out the ICE and the police, because you don't hear too many communities saying let's defund the police anymore. They realized what a mistake that was. Yeah, all of a sudden they're funding them again. But ICE is a whole different thing. It's unique to this time. Let's understand ICE is not unique to this time. ICE has been around a while. But the severe amount of effort put forth and the number of arrests and deportations is unique to this time.
Right.
To a degree. I mean, we don't want to forget Obama deported thousands and thousands during his administration.
Sure.
But it wasn't in this public fishbowl, so to speak.
And
it's hard to have
there's an effort to make ICE Trump's goon squad that he sends out to do all of these things. If he were waging war on drugs, the DEA would be the bad guys just because Trump is telling them to go out and do their jobs.
Yeah.
It's hard to have that conversation with people because they're just not having it. They're just not going to listen.
No, well, and that's...
All right, thanks, Art.
All right.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Tom.
No. I tell you, I'm 55 years old, and these times are unprecedented. You've been around a lot longer than me.